for us as the jeweler, that we have that to fall back on. That when our customers call us and say, you know, I put this bracelet on one time and it broke, that we don't have to just say, oh, sorry, you know, that we have an opportunity, a way to handle this, to take care of it for our customers. Any questions? Anyone? Okay.
About the flyer, I gotta say the first time Lisa did the OP with me, I kind of feel uncomfortable to have someone who was talking to me with a book, you know, just like you do in there. I just had a feeling that she had no idea what she talked about. Not that she really didn't, because she did know, but just the fact that I saw her holding that book.
Well, I think it's important. I mean, I can see that, but I think the majority of people, I mean, I'm just using this kind of as an outline, you know. I mean, I can do this without it. I could get up and I can do the OP without it. I've done enough, you know. But I think what's important with this, what I heard in a training once from Kathy Allen, which I thought was really good, is that this means that it's in writing, and people appreciate that that you're not making stuff up, you know, that it's everything that you're saying, you're backing up by literature that came right from the company, you know, especially when you get into the costs and the, you know, what you're getting for your money and stuff. I think it's important to have something, and you can just have it in front of you, and you can be talking like this, I mean, just kind of as a reference, but I do think it's important to have something.
Yeah, I do think of that before I get to do the actual OP. I'm just sharing that it makes me feel kind of uncomfortable.
Well, and like I said, I mean, you can...
I don't know why, you know, maybe, you know, if you do that and everybody else is doing it, it's obviously working.
Well, I think it's important to, like I said, to have something. The reason why I use this too, because you can get the flip charts and you can get, and those are great, you can use those, but personally, I like using this because this is what I'm going to leave her with. Everything that I said came from this, and then this is what she's going to have. I'm not going to, you know, talk, I don't know, from a flip chart and then give her something different. I'm giving her exactly what I talked from, you know, which I think is important too, because people are skeptical. It's in our nature or whatever. It's unfortunate, but you know, people are very skeptical. They think that you're not giving them the whole story. You know, they think they're going to look at this and they're going to say, well, you know, are there any other hidden fees or what, you know, what else is going on or whatever. And so this way, this is what you talked about. I mean, this is everything. We're not hiding anything. There's no hidden anything. This is it, if you want to get into Premier. And so that's why personally I like using this, and then this is what I leave with them. Okay. How do we make money in this business? Yeah, see, they changed it because it used to be the next page was the jewelry. Okay. How we make money in this business is we make 50% of everything that we sell. This is primarily a home show business. That's the tried and true method. Premier is setting up for success in this business through home shows, because we have a phenomenal hostess plan. We have an incentive that people want to do home shows for us. So we don't have to do home shows, but it really is the best way for us to make the most money in the most minimal time commitment for us, because basically our hostess does all the work and we just come in and we write up the order, we do the show, write up the orders, make the money, go home happy. But we'll always make 50% on our shows. We'll always make 50% through wholesale orders. If someone wants to buy this watch right off my wrist, they can do that. I will make 50% on that sale. We can also do catalog shows. There's no minimums in order to place those orders. Okay. So we're encouraged. We primarily do home shows. The average home show in Premier is $400 retail. So we'd make a gross profit of, half of that would be $200 retail, an average per show gross profit. How we keep our business going is through our hostess plan. And as I said, Premier really provides a phenomenal incentive in direct sales, and particularly a business like ours where we're really motivated by the home show. That's the primary vehicle that we're going to sell our jewelry, is through the home show. You have to have an incentive. You have to have a reason of why someone is going to want to do a show for you. We very quickly branch out of our circle of friends and family. You're going to start with your friends and family, but you'll branch out from there very quickly. Perfect strangers are going to want to do shows for you because we have a phenomenal hostess plan. And this is what keeps our business going. This is so important. Premier's hostess plan is incredibly generous. You're going to get 30% of your show's total retail in free jewelry. She can get 4 to 8 items at half price and 4 $25 bonuses. All of this free jewelry, our average hostess gets $150 to $200 in free jewelry. All of this free jewelry comes from Premier. This is a gift from Premier to our hostesses. What we pay as the jeweler is we pay an $8 jeweler share, and this covers the 30%. So whether that show was $100 and she was getting $30 in free jewelry, if it was $1,000 and she was getting $300 in free jewelry, we're going to pay an $8 jeweler share to cover the 30%. Half price items don't cost us anything. And then each of these 4 $25 bonuses that Premier gives out, they'll each cost us $3. Depending on how many she gets. On average, your average hostess is going to get 2. So you can expect on an average show that you're going to pay an $8 jeweler share and probably $6 in for 2 bonuses. The most that we would pay is $20, obviously, if the hostess gets all 4 bonuses and plus the $8 jeweler share. Occasionally when there's a promotion, sometimes that jeweler share goes up a little bit. It's not a lot, but on average, the most that we'll pay is $20 per show. And then I say, do you have any questions? You guys want to ask at the end of our page, do you have any questions? They usually don't. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to add? Okay. So do you see how I'm being really concise? Like I'm not really going on and on. You want to be careful, especially on this page and with the hostess plan and stuff. A lot of times she's been a hostess, so you can kind of breeze through this and you can make reference, you know, at your show, you know, make reference to her show so she remembers, oh yeah, I did get a lot of jewelry at my show. You know, and also too, don't be afraid. I've done OPs with people who had very low shows, who had a $100 show, and I can say, remember, even on your $100 show, you still got almost $60 in free jewelry, and you got a couple of half price things. You know, they're like, yeah, I know, that was great. You know, so don't be afraid. Sometimes we get afraid if it's not like a huge show that we shouldn't use as an example. Sometimes those are the best examples, is when it was a smaller show. There's another way that we can make money in Premier, and it is through sponsoring. Sponsoring is not something that we're ever expected to do, pressured to do, forced to do. It is something that's optional, and it is a great way to add some extra income to Premier. It's completely separate from your retailing income. You'll always make 50% on your retail, but then there's another way that you can make money in Premier through sponsoring. Pretty much every direct sales company has some sort of structure in which you're compensated when you bring people into the business, and so that's what it is in Premier. We call it sponsoring. The way that this works is basically every time that you bring someone into the business, they become your children. We call it a family in Premier. They become your daughters in Premier. You can have as many children as you want. You can sponsor as many people as you want, and that's how you would develop a first level. If they go on to sponsor, that's how you would develop a second. If they would go on to sponsor, then you would have a third. And that's where it stops. In Premier, it goes 3 levels deep. Not to get too confusing, but basically the way that this works is, let's say I have a show, I have an average $400 show, and I made my $200, I went home with my $200 that night, my retail income. Out of Premier's $200, then they're going to pay my upline, and they get paid 10%, and it goes for each of those 3 levels. So my mom in Premier is going to get 10% of $200, or $20. My grandma in Premier is going to get 10% of $200, another $20. My great-grandma in Premier is going to get another $20. So that came out of Premier's income. That had nothing to do with my retail. I made my money that night, because people will get confused by this, and they think it's going to come out of theirs, and they're not really sure. And this is something that you don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, because this is very out. Some people are going to be really into it. The majority of people, it's going to go right over their head. They're not even there yet. They're not thinking about sponsoring, you know, whatever. So for the people that are interested, you can spend more time. But on an average OP, this is how I handle this. And then I say, basically, to put this into dollars, it's roughly $50 per person per month. So if you were to have about 10 jewelers in your downline, you could expect to make about a $500 commission check. Of course, this depends, but that's the number that Premier uses to give you an example. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Now this is where, especially if you're doing an OP over the phone or anytime you're doing an OP, it's a good idea to stop here and to say, so what do you think so far? Kind of figure out at this point where they're at. Okay? Most people are going to be, wait, one over. Most people are going to be excited, they're ready, you know, they're interested, they want to know more, but sometimes people aren't, and that's okay, you know, and if they're not at this point, there's no need to continue, you know. Let's just say, for the sake of conversation, if they're not at this point, what you can do when you stop is you can say, if they're just like, you know, Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know why I wanted to ask you these questions. I'm not really, you'll get a feel for it. You're just really not, and then you can say, okay, well, I can go on and I can tell how much it costs to get started and everything. Or, if you want me to stop, that is totally fine. I really appreciate your time. And you can still give them whatever gift you are offering, obviously, if you're offering a gift. And then I would encourage you to have some sort of referral system, and it can be whatever.